This week there's a new chief at 22 Cans. Oh, Godus! And while I appreciate all the compliments about my spectacularness, I am not a hero. Until the moon rises. But then I realized it was all just a dream when my garbage cat wakes me up at 3 a.m. every day. This and more on episode 52 of Indie Game Riot. Indie Game Riot! Hey everybody, this is Josh, and this is episode 52 of the Indie Game Riot Podcast. One more episode, and it's actually officially a year's worth of shows. 53 weeks in a year, correct?
52 weeks in a year.
Am I wrong? I thought it was 53. Someone tell me.
You're wrong. There's 52 weeks.
Oh, then this is a year's worth. Whatever.
Happy 1 year, technically.
Whatever, yeah. So, I mean, we've been around for a year already. We celebrated May 1st, even though our anniversary is May 5th. But this is like, now we have like a full year's worth of show. Like 52 weeks. That's what I'm saying. Although one of the
That
shows
is,
ended up being corrupted. But,
52 plus hours.
oh, that's way over 52 hours.
Yeah.
Dude, the last
Hours and
episode,
hours and hours.
okay, episode 50, by the way, was almost 2 hours long.
Hey, that's okay. It was episode 50.
Still, that's
And we had
ridiculous. That's a little
we had
much.
a really awesome interview then.
That's a
too,
little much,
so.
but yeah, it was a good show. So anyway, episode 52. First of all, I want to let all of you know who are listening in the live chat, and those of you listening to the recorded version, that you can call a number and leave a message for us. We could play it on one of our episodes, depending on when you call, and we could respond to it. The number is 717-508-RIOT. 717-508-7468. For those of you who don't know the alphabet, give us a call and talk to us.
Leave us a message.
There you go.
Yeah.
Maybe
Rev and
hear
Tech
your
won't be able to hear it,
voice.
but I'll relay it to them. And everyone in the chat and on the recording will be able to hear it. That's all that really matters.
Yes.
So, what's been going on, guys? Who wants to go first?
I have a story.
All right, what's your story?
That is very scary. So, 2 days ago,
Woo!
I also worked.
Oh,
Saturday,
no,
but that's not
sorry.
really important. Yeah. So 2 days ago, no, like it was actually like really stressful. Yesterday was a stressful day. So 2 days ago, my grandmother, I was hanging out with my girlfriend Jessie in the basement, and I know it sounds bad. We were like watching Rick and Morty or something. She comes over and she's like, could you look at the laundry tub for me? I think something's wrong.
Something
so I walk
living
into
in it.
I walk into the laundry room. Oh, if only. That'd been so easy. I walk into the laundry room, and it looks like there's literal, like, shit water in the laundry tub. And it smells
like shit water.
Like, it smells like shit water. Sorry for the language.
Do you often
starting
play in
off so
shit
early.
water?
It was coming out of the drain. And I was like, oh, I'll get a plunger. It'll be fine. And I plunged it down, and nothing happened. Usually plunging fixes stuff, but it didn't
Due
work.
to your many
Like,
years of clogging toilets.
yeah, exactly. but it was like, it was actually a little bit freaky because, you know, I plunged some of it down and it was fine, and then later there was more, which was, you know, sitting off red flags. We called the plumber. The plumber showed up the next morning, and then after that, I was going to pour a glass of water,
Oh,
and I
Shit water.
turn on the faucet. And just brown water in the cup, and I'm looking at this, and it's like there's particulate, it's sort of sand colored, and I'm like,
looks legit.
that that shouldn't look like that. And I run more water, and it like clears out, but there's still like stuff in the water. So yesterday I didn't have any water. That's why Jesse and I, you know, picked up like a bunch of like gallon jugs of water. This one's almost empty because I was like super dehydrated yesterday. And it was just like a really stressful day. And today, my grandmother bought a new.
People want to know, Tech. This is important.
Yeah.
Did you drink it?
No, nor did I brush my teeth in it or wash my face in it like
Pansy.
Jesse did.
Ew, you're gross. Ew,
No.
ew,
No,
she
no,
did.
it was clean. It was clean. It was cleanish by then.
Ish.
No, I did not drink it. No,
Ew.
hell no.
She's done brushing her teeth. It's just brown.
No,
Streak
it
across.
wasn't actually brown. No, but it wasn't shit water. 'cause
brown all
we're
over
on
her
a-
teeth.
we're on a well, and so we have like a house filtration system that we maintain.
So did it break?
And so today what?
Did it break or something?
No, but we
you have a
today I
corpse, like,
replaced
leaking into
the heavy, like, had the heavy filter, like the 25 micron filter for those of you who care. And everything's back to normal.
I can't believe Jesse brushed her teeth in it. But that, on the other hand, that means that you're a stinky little bastard.
No. But
Smell
by
like
that
pizza.
time, by that time, everything was like sort of okay. But
He's been showering at a pizza slut.
yeah,
Just in the
Just
in the wash
man,
basin.
I smell
just
like crap. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, that was it's really weird. Like, you know, sometimes when when the power goes out, you're like, oh well, I guess, you know, nothing's, you know, oh, okay, no water, no power, or whatever. But like when you have power but you can't drink the water, like survival mode kicks in, and you're just like, all right, don't do anything that would require you to drink any amounts of water because you can't do it. Don't sweat. Don't get thirsty. Don't have to go to I mean, you can go to the bathroom, which works out, but like, you know, don't run any taps. Just don't touch it. That's disgusting. And yeah, that was my last 3 days.
waterless. That sucks because it's been hot as shit.
Yeah. Rev?
Mine. I have had this week from hell.
Oh, no.
Hell, I tell you. So Monday, I wake up and I have been having some tooth issues with one of my my molars, and I'm in a lot of pain. So I start slamming ibuprofen, and I'm alternating it with Tylenol. You know, I have 4 hours ibuprofen, 4 hours Tylenol.
That's really responsible.
Yeah, I'm not going to kill myself in one dose. And it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And I didn't sleep Monday night, and I didn't sleep Tuesday night, and I was at work Wednesday, and basically went in and was just like, enough is enough. I've got to get a dentist. So my dental insurance, I'm on an HMO plan, so everything's golden there. I just show up to the dentist on the list and say, here's my stuff, and they go, awesome, and they see me. And they, like, I call them, and I feel so bad. I was in so much pain, and I hadn't slept in 2 days, so I was super irritable. And this poor secretary is like, yeah, we can't see you tonight. You know, like, what about tomorrow morning? Well, tell you what, if you don't happen, or no, how did I phrase that? I was like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound suicidal, but if you don't get this taken care of tonight, I'm going to blow my jaw off with a gun, because I don't have the testicular fortitude to just rip my jaw off with my bare hands, because that'll hurt less.
Nut up, Rev.
And, you know, so
Yeah, a very Rev thing to say to someone
Exactly.
not expecting it.
exactly. And she was just like, well, and I was like, look, it's not your fault. I'll find another dentist. So hang up. It was kind of an awkward call ending. Hang up, and she calls me back just as I'm on the line with another dentist. And she's like, well, if you can make it to our Costa Mesa office in 20 minutes, then we can see you today. And I was like, fucking awesome. That's amazing. Here's my information, and let's head in. So we go in there, and they filling out the paperwork, and apparently my dental insurance was canceled in March.
Wait,
It was like,
don't you have insurance through your job?
Yeah, exactly. So they couldn't do the root canal then, but if I could get my insurance figured out on Thursday, then they could do the root canal then, and everything be taken care of. And so I'm sitting there, it was just like, okay, get back home, like calling places like mad. I spent all day yesterday, out of the 8 hours basically that I was at work, I basically spent the entire time on the phone with insurance and our provider and our HR and like everything. And yeah, come to find out, the Guardian Insurance changed my ID number without bothering to tell anybody. And so, you know, the information that I had was now no longer valid as of March. And so, yeah, it was ridiculous. So I had a root canal done yesterday. And I am high as fuck on Vicodin.
Which is the
You're
second
just, like,
time
floating
you've
over
been
your
high as
couch.
fuck on Vicodin on the show, which I pointed out before the show started. Which, by the way, is really funny because last time on it was like it was a while ago. It was probably in the early teens when that happened the last time.
Yeah.
And and you were talking about how you were really messed up on the show, and while we were doing the show, I was like, he doesn't seem that messed up at all. And then I went and listened to the show, and you're like slurring your words and like really out of it. I'm like, oh wow, Rev really was not feeling well.
I was definitely.
How long's your prescription for?
I've been taking a half a pill every 2 hours instead of taking a full pill every 4 hours, and that seems to be working. But I think I've got another 10 or so pills left.
I feel like that's softer on your liver, because I know Jesse had a problem with a doctor prescribed narcotic, messing with her liver. So
well, preposterone. I would also suggest getting the tooth extracted. Unfortunately, I've had so many extracted that I'm running out of teeth. So it was kind of one of those things
Kinda
where
need to keep this
is
one.
like,
yeah,
Kind of need to keep this one.
yeah, exactly. I do need to be able to masticate properly.
brush your teeth, brush your goddamn teeth.
I do.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was me. How about you, Josh?
It's hot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It is
Moving
hot.
on.
It's sweaty as shit in here.
Yeah.
It's not so bad right now, actually. We opened up both windows, so I apologize for any background noise. Like that. And, yeah, there it goes. So you probably still
Right
hear
on
it anyway.
cue.
Yeah, really. You'd probably still hear it anyway, but it's too goddamn hot for that.
Yeah.
Nothing really interesting has been going on as far as I can think.
Yeah, I mean, other than some stuff that we're going to be talking about.
Yeah,
in the
all the
news,
exciting stuff's in the news, and it's Indie Game
Yeah.
Riot related, not just me. I have a limited life. I mean, other than conventions and things like that, it's like
Yeah.
work, family, Indie Game Riot.
Indie Game Riot.
That's what it is.
Yep.
Yeah. You
Mine-
could
Mine's more work, Indie Game Riot, and then family. Lately.
Well, if we're
could
doing
al-
it
you
in
could
if
always
we're doing
touch
it
on
in
how we
particular
finally got
order, if we're doing it in particular order, it's family, Indie Game Riot, or work, because I don't give a shit about my job. But yeah. Oh, I'm not interested.
So,
It's okay. So you know what is interesting, and I think we should give one to Rev to make him feel better.
Huh?
And Indie News Injection.
Are you bored with the same old games?
Yeah.
Why, then give yourself an Indie News Injection.
Thanks, Indie Games.
This week on Indie News Injection, we have, if you remember, we talked about, I forget what episode it was. We talked about Peter Molyneux and Godus, or however the hell you want to pronounce
God
it.
Us.
That poor kid that got fucked out.
Godus.
Thing.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, the kid that won.
What are you talking about?
Maybe I'm forgetting. Never mind. Moving on.
it was episode
Man,
38.
you really are high on Viking. Yeah, but anyway, we talked about Peter Molyneux being a dick or something like that, and it was I think it was the same episode that I was in New York that we talked about it.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But anyway, apparently his studio, 22 Cans, is they just hired a new CEO, Simon Phillips, and he was, before joining 22 Cans, he was the CEO of the mobile game company Fairplay Media, which I've actually heard of, but I don't know what they do exactly.
Mobile games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, after the whole thing with Molyneux, he basically is like, okay, the staff of 22 Cans needs a shake-up, so they added Simon Phillips to be CEO, and they're going to reboot, because they're having issues of releasing Godus. I don't know.
Godus.
And so hopefully that's actually going to happen now, because a lot of people were backing it. It was backed and made a lot of money through that. They're also working on their next game, which would come after, I guess, technically that Godus is called The Trail. I actually have no idea what that is.
Yeah.
But they were working on it. So I thought that was interesting because at least Molyneux's doing something. So props to him for taking his dickerishness. Stupid
Wait,
word.
Isn't Godus? Isn't that the one that was the mystery game, and that kid won, and he gets like money out of them? Wasn't that part of why we were talking about that?
I don't remember.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, well that's.
I think you're crazy. But that's besides the point.
Yeah. All right.
You know what else is crazy?
Yeah, we're running low on time. In fact, if you're watching the edited version of the show, you're out of time. But for those of you that are catching the live stream or happen to catch a recorded version over the weekend, you have until June 1st to submit your game to IndieCade. So if you're planning on doing that, IndieCade.com/submissions and get your shit together quick.
Just ding, 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 reminder on that.
It ends 11:59 Pacific time.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
So the minute before midnight.
One of you got to do a segue.
What?
So one of you have to do a segue now.
I'd have to do a segue now. There's a segue here, everybody, and it's going into the ridiculous / awesomeness of a new social media website that launched recently that I found and then told Josh about, called Player.me. Basically, Player.me is trying to be the social media for gamers, by gamers, for people of all gaming backgrounds to come together and, chat and open up conversations and talk about the games they like and convince other people that they're wrong, except not really. And it is similar to Twitter, where you can follow players, people on the site, and you will get updates from them. But you can also view the feed, which is everybody posting anything, and you can just comment right there on the thing in their own little comment section. So it's almost like a super fast-paced forum where someone posts a topic, and then there are 4 or 5 little comments of people having discussions. And I think that it is very cool, and that, if you can get past a lot of the do you guys I'm playing this game, people add me on Steam, or follow for follow, or
I think there's a lot of growing pains right now just because it's only been up for like an open
5 days,
whatever.
It's only been open for a while.
So I think that's just growing pain. I think that's going to stop, and the fact that it encourages it encourages interaction between people who don't necessarily know each other at all. I mean, Indie Game Riot's page in itself, I mean, we have 30-some followers, and then what's also cool is that you can make a group like similar to Steam groups, but it's like integrated into your account, like your regular account. So you can follow Indie Game Riot, but you can also be a part of the group, even though it's all the same thing. But anyway, it's like 30-some followers already, and we've only been on there for a couple days, and 20-some.
Side note, it's still down.
Yeah, it's still down as we're talking. 20-some people in our actual group there, but.
Yeah, and it's really cool. You can find us. You can search Indie Game Riot to find Josh and the group, or Takedo to find me.
I do have a personal one. I just haven't been using it because I've been concentrating.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit more attention than Twitter does.
It is a very engrossing experience. I recommend that if you have a few hours to spare to sort of get used to the environment that it has created. It is a very different experience from a lot of other social media that I've used, and I think it's probably one of the more fun ones. It is also very exhausting, and this site is the perfect example of how you have to enact the change that you want to see in this world. So go there, talk about
when it's up.
when it is up, go to player.me, make an account, follow Indie Game Riot and Takedo.
Tell everyone Indie Game Riot on there.
Yeah. Shout out Indie Game Riot, because we love you guys, and be the change that you want to see in the gaming community. So they have awesome discussions. People are not yelling or hating each other like you'd see on like Xbox Live.
There are people being douches, but
people being douches.
I haven't even like really come across anyone like really. And I was just like, okay.
Yeah, and there are obviously people who are out there for like shameless self-promotion. It's like, hey guys, I just uploaded a video on YouTube. I'm a growing Let's Player, and I'm like, whatever, dude, block. But really, start conversations. Talk about games that you like. Talk about styles of games that you like. Start a conversation. It's very easy. It's very fun, and I highly recommend it.
Absolutely.
We are not sponsored by Player.me.
No.
Just let you know. I found it, and it's cool.
So go ahead, Rev. You do this one.
Next up, we got
oh hell,
hot diggity doggy.
Oh,
6 months late.
Gotta loosen it up. Gotta raise the table up.
This?
All
This
right.
is gonna be amazing.
Are you guys ready
I'm
for
looking
this?
at the actual Skype window right now
Yeah.
because I need a little bit better view.
Oh, man. I just learned about this today. Neither Josh nor I have seen this yet.
Nope. Should we drum roll or something? I don't know.
Oh,
I see a bit of it.
oh no, I can see some of it. It looks better than expected. All right,
I'm really
it's
excited.
ready.
So,
Oh, man.
we supposed to be done back in November.
Holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
man.
Woo!
Oh, no. That's so good. That looks so good.
Closer.
That's okay. So for those of you who are new, every year, everyone does a Game of the Year award. We do a Riot of the Year award for the best indie game, based on all of your guys' votes mixed with our votes. Our votes have a larger percentage and everything like that, just to make sure there's no popularity contest type of thing going on. But so last year, Endless Legend by Amplitude Studios won, and that is their trophy. That we're going to send. It's an actual goddamn Riot Shield, by the way, for those of you listening to the audio.
It's a trophy for those of you who are
A Riot
listening.
Shield turned trophy, and we're sending it. Well, Rev, compliments of Rev, actually.
Yeah, seriously.
So thank you. And that is being sent all the way to France because that's where their studio is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, that makes me
That's so
excited.
cool.
Do you any
Can you just
ETA
show us
on
more of that?
any ETA on when it's actually getting sent out? Because I bet they
It'll
forgot
have
about
to
it.
be. That's probably the case.
Although they still have like if you go to their Steam page, they still have our like they're not using like I gave them an icon to use that said like Indie Game Riot of the Year or whatever. They changed all their like award icons that they get from all the different outlets to like these little like banners with those wreaths around them.
The shipping. This came up in chat. The shipping on this. So the Riot Shield itself was $80. In order
The vinyl
to
work.
To do the work on it, was another 30 because I have friends and family that love me, and the shipping to Amplitude Studios is another $90. So
Yeah.
So they're not. We're not skimping out on this.
But I think they're gonna. I think they're going to like be like, oh my god, and
Like,
I'm hoping
I
it
didn't
takes
know
like
that this was.
I'm hoping it takes center spot in whatever award case
Yeah.
they may have.
Yeah, they're gonna make like that Twitter post is gonna go crazy.
I can't wait. I hope.
So this is what showed up in the mail today, guys. Don't know what we were expecting.
Well, they're probably what they're honestly probably expecting is like a freaking certificate or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah, we're giving no.
Or like yeah.
No, we do-
certificate,
we
like
do
a
shit.
Nice frame.
Shit gets real here in Indie Game Riot. We're not pussies.
That'd be a really cool thing to showcase at at Too Many Games.
Yeah.
Like this is what you could
I
win.
am not hauling that
don't,
shield all the way
don't,
out to Pennsylvania.
don't.
Well, technically, if you send it from here, it's a little closer.
It
I don't think it would
doesn't
cost any difference.
cost.
Well, you know what does not cost that much,
What's that?
Rev. Since you put it there,
Humble
and
Bundle?
you're the only one that gives
The
a
Humble
shit.
Bundle does not cost that
The Humble
much.
Bundle does not cost that much. Go ahead. You're the one that put it there. Oh, he muted himself.
Sorry, I'm sorry, spouses in the background are talking at me. So, Humble Bundle. Nintendo is joining Humble Bundle, which, yay, nobody gives a shit. We don't talk about AAA trash here. Oh, wait, no, it's all indie games. The complete list is Nintendo Indie Gaming, and they are putting Guacamelee.
Good game.
And
The
what's
Fall.
The Fall,
Good game.
Don't Starve,
Good game.
Octodad. I mean,
Good game.
they've just got this entire list of all of these. Never Alone is on there.
Good
and
game.
if for no other reason, play that game.
Yep.
Seriously. So,
All very good games. I have to say, I'm a little disappointed that's Nintendo because I don't give a shit. I don't have a
Right.
Wii U. I don't have a 3DS. But they're all good games. So if you do own a Nintendo, there you go.
And want to support some indie devs. I mean, obviously,
Nintendo.
pay full
I will
price,
say that Nintendo is doing a lot better indie-wise lately,
after the beating they took over the last couple of years,
especially
yeah,
from
they better
PlayStation.
be.
Yeah. So whatever. Good job, Nintendo. You know what else What does that mean? Okay, you put this one as well, so you can take it.
Yeah, okay. I like how you try to segue, but like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Because this is a surprise news thing. I didn't.
Yeah,
Surprise.
Rev is like has shanghaied the news
news.
this year, this episode.
So you remember we talked about Super Pixalo, and we had Phil Royer on the show. He's actually getting more and more publicity lately. He was just featured on the 62nd episode, 10 more episodes than us, those bastards. But Indie Game Mag does their weekly kind of vid show called The Average Giants, in which they take a couple of games and bring the devs onto the show with them and talk about it. And just this week, the 25th of this month, Phil and Super Pixalo were one of the 2 featured shows. So,
good job,
Yeah.
Phil. Good job,
seriously.
bro.
Yeah.
So you know what else? I mean, we were talking about Nintendo. I'm skipping over Indie Game Mag because I wish it was reordered differently, but it's all last minute news. So, you know what else? Nintendo is a dick about. Bad segues.
Is being
That was a really bad segue.
yeah.
Your face is a
So-
bad segue.
Yeah, it is. I can't. Anyways, so this is something that it's been bothering me for a while, and we haven't had a good discussion time because we've had a bunch of interviews on recently. But one of the things that's kind of been bothering me, we celebrate it when a dev leaves the AAA trash scene and goes indie. But much like Nintendo currently with their Humble Bundle, we now have the AAA trash scene invading the indie scene. And I just kind of wanted to talk about like how does that make us feel in general, and
Well,
how is this going to change the environment, the community?
I'd like to preface this with, first of all, because we have the panel going on at Too Many Games talking about in-games not being hipster and exclusive.
Right.
I have to say that, first of all, AAA trash, we use that as a joke because it's an
Yeah.
in-game show.
That's a joke.
I play AAA games. You all play AAA games.
Yeah.
They're great.
But
But
this is Indie Game
I was
Riot.
thinking. I was actually thinking about this the other day. About I wish, because I mean, Steam obviously has this huge hold on
Right.
on indie games
Yeah.
because of early access and greenlight and all that stuff. But then PlayStation, Sony and Microsoft came in and got their hooks into it and it's not a problem because I like them being on console, but I prefer to play indie games on PC. I don't know why, usually, especially now that there's controller support and everything like that.
Josh, let me give you a little a prod in the right direction. What about sports ball?
Yeah,
What about sports?
I mean that's
sport-
it would be hard to play on a PC because I mean it was used with Wiimotes.
Yeah.
It's just I don't. That's like one of the few games I would say like you can play on PC.
Yeah. Well, but why don't we bring up so obviously we haven't dove too deep into this just yet, but what about this? So Steam is notorious for a few things.
Okay.
Having great prices on great games,
Which
and
hurts
also
the devs
having
sometimes.
which does hurt the devs sometimes, but also having really, really bad quality control and absolute.
But
Is that outweighed by the fact that Microsoft charges $10,000 to get your game on, and then $10,000 anytime you want to update it?
that's
or
insane.
how about
Is
Sony
it literally 10,000?
into a contract where you have
Jesus.
to release it on Sony first?
Well, you also have to release it on Xbox.
Well, Microsoft does the same thing.
Yeah.
And
But so what's the where do we draw the line?
plus, I would say with Steam, like bad quality control, but it's kind of a byproduct of being so open. I mean, there are great
That's
games
true.
that would
That's
have
very
never
true.
gotten on
Yeah.
if they weren't open about it. You know
I
what
was
mean?
honestly that comment was playing devil's advocate. I've never had a problem with Steam because I've never had to use their support.
I have once, but ironically, it was for a AAA game,
Yeah.
and they didn't do shit about it. So there you go.
So we're just talking about devs, like I think I speak for all of us when I say that we're all for devs trying to make the most money possible on the stuff that they've spent, their soul trying to make.
Yeah.
And if that means that they will make more, and if releasing on, yeah, exactly. and if we are, if it means that a dev is going to make more money on the PS4 or the Xbox One, I think that is very, very good.
I mean, mind you, too. I mean, we're talking about sales on Steam, but I mean, PlayStation gives them away for free.
Well, but here's the thing, like even sales on Steam, and I think we talked about this like 4 or 5 episodes ago. Like, yeah, the sale isn't giving the same amount to the developer, but even like going back to the person who like we can't shut up about, Phil Fish made what, like $1 million in that week that Fez was on sale.
Well, that was partly because of all the hype. I mean, that was 4 years worth of hype, plus the indie game movie.
But think about this, like, Fez was already selling decently well, and then there was a sale, and there was still money there, so.
Well, I think the other thing too with like the sales and things like that. I mean, we've discussed this a couple times before with people who are against buying things on sale and through bundles and things like that. But I think I mentioned this before. I think it just gives the opportunity to people who wouldn't necessarily have played it before. At least they're getting some money out of it. First of all, and it does add up. Yeah. And second of all, even if they weren't making money, the people that are paying or for only the sale version or humble versions wouldn't have played it otherwise. So I mean, at least now they're getting more of their game out there. Potential YouTubers,
So here's and this kind of drags me back to the whole topic of our discussion. There was a study that had just recently been released, and I wish I had the link to it so I could share it. But basically, out of all of the money that indie games makes each year, like 90% of that goes to 4 companies. And then 10% of that.
We were talking about that on mobiles.
Well, no, this was for the entire like you think about like who Telltale Games.
Okay, not indie games. First of all,
no, those are indie games.
Some people. I mean,
we list them as indie
Valve
games,
is also indie games. I don't list them as indie games.
But my point is, 4 companies get like 90% of all of the profit out of indie games right now. And the remaining 10% of money gets divvied up amongst the thousands of developers that are making really amazing games. So, how is it going to affect our indie game community economy to have these big players jumping even further into it?
Here's how you can look at it, and this is just. This isn't necessarily like a scientific look at things, nor is it like claiming to know anything about the future. But there are 2 possible options for a console released indie game. All right, because a lot of people seriously, I've talked to people in the stores. You can check with this. People have an Xbox or a PlayStation, whatever. Mm-hmm. They buy 2 games a year. Mm-hmm. They buy first-person shooter, generic name 8, and then they buy EA Sports game.
Well, that's one kind of gamer.
Year name.
Yeah.
But some people own an Xbox One to play Battlefield or Call of Duty, and then NBA 2K15. And then when the next Call of Duty comes out and the next NBA 2K and the next NBA 2K game comes out, they buy those. Or NFL, whatever your sports game is, people buy 2 games a year, and that's what they play, and that's what all their friends play, and that's what these systems are used for. So either that audience is going to play those 2 games and completely ignore everything and go with the whole, it doesn't matter how many people are screaming about this, if the market isn't there and they're not going to spend the money, it doesn't matter how much you pander to them. Or the availability of those games and the cheapness of those games is going to move units from the people who are only buying 2 games a year, which are, Call of Duty Battlefield or, or EA Sport game, and actually make a difference in, gamers, repertoire of games. And I'm not trying to say that gamers who
I mean, I own a Madden game.
Yeah, and
I own Battlefield.
Like those games aren't awful, and it's not bad, and especially those games because it's like that's $120 a year that you're spending on gaming, plus the cost of the console over the lifespan of the console, plus online play or PlayStation Plus,
Xbox
Live, etc.
Let me pose a different angle at this too.
Okay.
So we're talking about like companies like Nintendo and Sony and Microsoft. What about AAA developers getting into it? So Ubisoft releases Child of Light, really Valiant Hearts, but some people consider it indie. I mean, it wins indie awards, but they break off small groups of their thing, and they publish it. But it's
like that's see.
But I think that kind of
that's a good point. Like that is a good point. That's how we got Mirror's Edge.
I mean, that's not. I mean, it doesn't bother me that they're doing that because they're good games.
Yeah, they are good games.
But it bothers me that they're taking awards and money away from actual small studios.
And obviously the sort of veering off topic here, the amount of resources that those AAA devs have, those AAA publishers have to give to their own devs to make a game. I mean, obviously, like these games, at heart, are completely indie.
Mirror's Edge was I actually happened to know one of the developers on that team, and it was a relatively small team. It was only like 15, 20 of them that put in all of the core work on it, but they were all getting their weekly paychecks and had all of the company, they didn't have. It was basically, hey, we have an idea, we're going to do it on the side. And Mirror's Edge was a fantastic tech demo. Probably one of my favorite games to come out that entire year. But they already had the resources there. They were already. It's not like somebody is coding up this game in their basement and going, I need to try and sell some of this and scrambling to make rent while making this amazing game.
That's what bothers me. Like, I make those games because they're good.
Yeah,
right.
But don't add them in. I mean, you're just trying to get
it into
and maybe really bringing this up, although it might sound off topic. Maybe this is the greater discussion of indies moving from, because you look before Castle Crashers and Super Meat Boy, and you have indies, and indies are developing for Newgrounds,
right?
Or
they get their start there,
all the other, exactly. And then you have the sort of big indies like Double Fine and I can't remember his name. All those other big indie names, and then the indie devs that have been working for a while that aren't necessarily as popular, don't have as much clout, sort of come out of the woodwork and then start to get more popular. And now we have the indie scene shifting to publishing companies.
Version.
Yeah, exactly. But there is a plus side to that, because the game by committee concept that a lot of these companies have is starting to give way to give these devs creative
that's a
aspects, and that can really add a lot of quality to the indie gaming experience. So is that that shift from the garage dev, as some people are now starting to list indie developers, versus the bankrolled indie devs with an idea, that shift is happening, and obviously good games are going to be coming out of it. Mm-hmm. The question still remains, and I think it's more of a question of time, as to whether or not those titles that are released under AAA budgets, let's just say budgets,
because
or funding.
Technically Double Fine has pretty big budget.
Yeah, well, but
and they kind of do the same thing Ubisoft does with breaking up their make a game.
And all things considered, Ubisoft is one of those devs that as soon as I see Ubisoft making the game, I'm just like, nope, don't trust him. Don't trust him as a dev. But
I don't know.
Well, I don't.
It depends on the game. because I mean they have different studios, and then anyway, it doesn't matter. It's triple.
But yeah, like the AAA devs moving to a more indie style of development is making good games, and honestly, the only thing that matters is
it's a shame that they have to hide their name behind another studio. You know, we're just publishing it, even though the studio is broken.
Well, no, I mean, it's questionable, but obviously we want to know what you guys think. So if you're listening to the recorded version, make sure to comment. Either comment on IndieGameRiot.com or comment on the YouTube video that you will be watching.
Who cares? Or call 717-508-RIOT.
Yeah,
leave a message with your thoughts.
Let us know what you think, because we are not the experts of everything, even though we wish that we were.
Yeah,
speak for yourself.
You know what we are experts on.
What?
How to start a riot.
Bam! Yeah, we are.
This week on Starting the Riot, we actually are starting a riot a little bit with a game called Not a Hero. First of all, what's interesting about this game... Oh, I forgot to turn off the music there. Sorry about that. What's interesting about this game is that, first of all, besides the game, they're actually in the election in England. I guess they just elected their prime minister again. I guess it's still Gordon Brown or whatever the hell. The Bunny Lord, which is the main character you see, the purple bunny there, was actually running a campaign, obviously not getting anywhere, but people were voting for Bunny Lord over in England to be the next prime minister. In this game, he is running for government, but he's going to be the mayor of England, because England has a mayor.
Apparently.
And he does it by kicking ass.
My environmental policy: harness the astounding renewable power of the eagle.
He kicks balls. He kicks criminals' balls back up into their throats, and it's a ton of fun. You know what it reminds me a lot of. You remember way back when I don't think it's still fully released yet, but Bro Force.
Yep.
Yeah.
Reminds me a lot of Bro Force, but more fast pace.
Yes. And a little less platformy.
A little bit less platforming.
A lot less platforming.
Although there's a lot of secrets if you can get yourself, like, I always find them on accidents. Yeah. But like there was one point where I got exploded and I flew backwards onto another building that you couldn't get onto otherwise, I don't think, unless you got exploded. And there was like a secret door there, and you went to this other dimension. It was really weird. I was like, that's really cool.
This is a side-scrolling shoot 'em up.
You call that
with like cover mechanics. It's fun. It's like unbridled, like it's sort of arcadey in a way, not necessarily in points, but in like the things that they recommend you to accomplish.
I guess a little bit.
Play.
Not a hero.
I wish I could comment on that. I haven't been able to play it.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, Rev's review key wasn't working, so I don't really know what the deal is with that. It's currently on Steam you can just buy it for $12.99. There's like different editions too. It's like the Global Megalord edition, which is $20, $19.99. It's got good scores all the way around. I mean, Metacritic gives it 75, which is a pretty good score for Metacritic.
Yeah.
The developer is Roll7, which is a pretty big developer in the indie game world.
And it is published by Devolver.
And published by Devolver, which is another big company in the indie game world. But still indie game. So, very indie game, actually. Devolver, man, Devolver has such a good eye for indie games, man.
They do. And there's so much... I know we say this a lot. There's so much game here. Like, you look at it, you're like, oh, it's like simple pixel art, and you're just going around. It's like, why wasn't this just on Newgrounds? Like, this thing controls so well. There's so much cool stuff you can do.
This thing's worth $13.
Oh,
man.
It is so worth $13. And it's like so many characters, so many like little features. My favorite feature of this game is so. This is going to sound really weird, but one of the things that made me like truly love this game is that there are secrets hidden everywhere. One of my favorites is when you are on the character select screen, especially in the beginning, and you only have one character. When you move your arrow keys around to the characters that you can't get, it plays a little note, and it goes up the scale, and then it goes down the scale when you go down, and there's music playing in the background, and so you can just play music on the character select screen. It's like boo, boo 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 boo.
Oh yeah. I was doing that. I didn't notice it at first, but then I was like, because I was switching back and forth, and I was like, what? Where is that tone coming from? And I realized it was me actually playing with the music. So I started doing it for like 10 minutes.
Yep. Yeah. Like last night for like 5 minutes, I was just like, you have to see this thing in this game. I know you don't you're not into this sort of thing. Just hear me out. Just sit down right there. And I did it for her, and she was just like,
okay.
I don't get it. And I'm just like, just do it. And she like did it, and she was like having the best time of her life.
So just to give you some mechanics of this game, your Bunny Lord doesn't actually do any of the fighting. You don't play as Bunny Lord. You always play as one of his
cronies,
I hesitate to
mercenaries?
say I hate to say henchmen or something like that. Your campaign managers, let's say.
There we go. That's a really good.
And he has you go out and do the
way
dirty
to-
work that a politician cannot do. So and there's
honestly,
different characters you can choose from.
I can see why you don't get to play as Bunny Lord. I mean, have you listened to some of his campaign stuff? Like, it's amazing. If elected, I'll do some random stuff like ride a hippo over a bed of average flaming kittens.
Yeah.
But
Like,
he sticks to his word. He is an
who's
honest
not gonna
politician.
vote
The
for
writing
this
in
guy?
this is so random. I do enjoy that. I mean, not everyone's into that kind of humor, but I really enjoy the humor.
I think that it's
Maybe
less
because I'm
of a,
immature.
but it's not really random. It's just it's absurdist.
Yeah.
And it's really like absurd things. It's just like, yeah, after this mission we're gonna get pancakes at the place around the street if you pass. And then the mission ends and you're eating pancakes with Bunny Lord, and he's like telling you stuff, and it's the humor
It's
of this
so
game is-
nonchalant after the mission's over too. Like this mission that you just saw on the screen, I actually played through it, and you end up having to try and kill this mob henchman. It's like the boss level, I guess you could call it. And he kills the mob henchman. They run away in the van after it's all over, and then it's like now you see them. Right now, actually, they're just sitting at the diner talking about bullshit.
Aunt Ruby's, yeah.
But the mechanics are really cool. I mean, there's like you're basically running, and then you can like hide in cover. You come out of cover. You can, if you get close enough, you can cap them one off. If it's a weaker enemy.
And if you can slide,
tackle them and
also
execute.
you can slide, tackle them, and then execute them. Oh, so much fun!
It's really satisfying, the gameplay. I actually have to say.
And the only gripe, I don't even have a gripe about this game. The
one single gripe I have, I can't imagine it being any other way, to be honest, but it's still annoying, is Bunny Lord's voice,
Speed.
quote quote.
Oh, I like his voice. I don't like the speed that the text shows up as.
That doesn't
I want
bother
that. I want that text to show up faster. My thing is, this game, I played it on a keyboard, and I know now that I really should have just connected the controller.
I use an Xbox controller.
And this game, it works on keyboard, but just because it's Z and X to you can use Z to sprint or not sprint, but dive, or tap it to go into cover. And it's really smooth, so you can slide and then just pop right back into cover, and it's really good. But the shooting was sort of jarring to me, but it was something that I had to get used to. So that's not really a knock on the keyboard controls, because I'm a huge fan of keyboard controls. But if you have a Logitech or other brand gamepad that you can plug into your computer,
Yeah, definitely use it.
I would highly recommend using it. It's not a game where you need precision. You're not even using your mouse. This game's like
it is also I do want to throw out it is Windows only, so boo for that. But still, this game looks so much fun. I watched the trailer the other day, and then I went to activate my review code, and it was a duplicate key.
I don't
So
know.
I went to activate Tekido's review code.
Thinking that he maybe stole
just
it.
to screw me out of it.
Like, I was so excited to play this, and then I emailed Josh, who was like, "Yeah, it's not working for me," and he's like, "Well, try using text," and I was like, "I already did." And then he sent me another one, and that one also. So my biggest disappointment about this game is that I have yet to actually play it. All I've been able to do is watch videos of other people playing.
It's pretty fun. For people who are just like, oh, it's just mindless violence. No, it's fun mindless violence.
And it's fast paced. The fast pacedness of it makes me is really exciting to me, just because
Yeah.
It makes you feel like a badass when even when you get hit, it's like
Yeah.
you're like, oh, when you get right back up.
Mechanically, it makes me think of Risk of Rain, which we featured in the past.
Yeah.
But the speed at which this game goes, because Risk of Rain can be a very plodding game, even when you're at high levels and everything's going rapid. This game just seems to flow so quickly.
And the best part about that flow is that it is completely controlled by you. And this is probably like the most accurate game to encompass the sort of action movie like feel, because you know, in some games it's like constant off the wall, like heart thumping, crazy punch you in the face speed action, and like by the end of it you're like but here, like, the pace is as fast as you want it to go. It just everything happens so quickly, and that's how it's really fun. So as soon as you like clear 4, you're like, awesome, I just killed like 8 dudes.
and there's always in each level too, like you can pass a level, but each level has like bonus objectives.
Yeah.
And if you get that, it's like a little Arcadian where you get like better points, and it kind of gives you like, instead of Mayor of England, it says you're King of England or something like that. It's just, I don't know. Really good game. Go play it.
I love how you can just see the world, and there are doors, and you're just like, you're looking at this door, and you're like, there are 2 guys in there. Awesome. And you dash through, you knock the other one, you knock the
There's
first
a little
one,
bit
you
of
shoot it in the
strategy
head,
involved.
you're like, yeah, there is strategy. This isn't like just some mindless shooter where you like have a bunch of health. Like, you actually sort of have to play the character that you're playing.
The AI
like,
is actually
know it.
surprisingly good for a 2D shooter.
Yeah, there was early on. I learned that very quickly, where I take cover and then I'm shooting out, and it's like, oh well, they're in cover too, so I should sit back and cover, reload, wait for the first guy to pop out, pop his head off, and it's just like, oh, it's so
that slide tackle execution combo has really saved me.
Yeah, it's this game is unbridled joy.
Put that on the quote.
Yeah, no, seriously, if there's any quote, not a hero is unbridled joy.
There you go.
Or knee, spoon, carrot, the 3 cornerstones of a solid election campaign.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
It's not just mindless violence; it's fun mindless violence.
So everyone, go vote for Bunny Lord, and start. I don't know. Should we start a riot, because then he might come cap our asses?
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
I don't know. It's a riot for Bunny Lord. I think he'd be totally for that. I mean, you know, come on, free election money, like.
Someone asked in the chat if there are pixelated sex scenes. I would not be surprised. I have not encountered any. I would not be surprised, though.
A kid in every hand, a table in every home. This is my pedestrian vision of society.
He hates kids.
You know what? But you know what
kids.
goes completely against Bunny Lord's pedestrian vision of society?
Although I think he would actually still go enjoy this.
Yeah. Peep show.
Yeah, peep show. What he said.
Please give all your attention to Early Access.
The sun goes down and the moon rises. And that's our game this week on Peep Show. Moonrise, sorry. This game is, I played it for about 2 or 3 hours today.
We should say that this is a game that we were very split on for a certain reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So, what to say? This game, okay, the mechanics behind it are a lot of fun. It's like a mashup of Monster Hunter meets Pokemon meets Hearthstone. And there's a little bit of, I want to say, like a Baldur's Gateism to it as well. The story so far is it's a Monster Rancher type game, and it's your goal is to beat the Lunari to cure them, because the moon causes an eclipse and then they become evil demon stuff and whatever. So mechanically, it's not bad. I've built 2 teams now, and I don't actually do the whole clicky nonsense. I just click auto battle and let them figure it out. And most of my teams are now at around level 9 to 12. But the problem that I have with this, interspersed with the dungeons, the quests, etc. It's
the core gameplay. Let's say.
Yeah, interspersed with the core gameplay is a freemium or not quite freemium, but that freemium model. The microtransactions that just don't belong for this. You can only capture as many boss or as many little monsters as you have keys, and you get one key every 20 minutes or something like that, and you can randomly get them in after completing quests.
Let me ask you a question: have you actually played it enough where you've run out of keys?
Oh yeah, I ran out of keys.
I haven't.
Keys in the first dungeon.
Did you? I haven't.
Really? Yeah. I didn't run out in the first dungeon. I did. I'm also very, very conservative about keys, just in general. Like,
oh no,
in
I'm
the
trying
sort
to
of like
everything. So
yeah,
I ran out of keys instantly.
Yeah, so am I. Yeah.
And so, like, they have multiple types of currency. You get you get coins, which you can use to buy random shit to upgrade yourself or your monsters. You also, when you beat monsters, you get little upgrade points, strength, spirit, speed, whatever.
Yeah,
and
like
implement
attribute
those.
upgrades.
Yeah, attribute upgrades that cost coins to implement once you've added that in. You have the keys, which allows you to capture the monsters, or you can use them to gamble on chance and get better monsters or stuff like that. And then you have gems, which is kind of like the overarching currency of
money currency.
So let's put
That's
this.
the one that costs
money.
money.
I hate to put this in the same realm as these games, but it has the same concept as like Farmville or shit on Facebook. No. Listen to me.
Okay.
Same concept as far as you can only get so far until your resource runs out.
That's not actually true because you can.
And it has the same currency. There's coins that you get in game, then dollars that you have to pay for.
Yeah, it has that same thing, and purchasing potions costs gems, for example, and I'm down. You start off with like 250 gems. I'm down to 100 because I bought 4 potions because you can't do anything in dungeons without those.
To put it the other way, though, it doesn't make you spam the shit out of your friends in order to progress.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
and they're adamant.
So far, I've not run out of anything that I can't replenish. I still have gems. I'm sure that you can get gems. But I ran out of coins, and there's a place where you can just grind coins. And you run out of little upgrade attribute stuffs, and there's places you can just grind to upgrade those.
They're adamant that this is not pay to win, by the way.
But
it's pay to be faster in progression.
But see, fundamentally that frustrates me. And there was one little icon that nagged me when I played this. And I played this in about 2 sessions. What's that?
Was that the store?
No, it was not the store. It was the little dungeon door number out of 3, and then you do a dungeon and it says 2 out of 3, and then you do another dungeon and it says 1 out of 3, and I was looking at it, I'm just like, what does that exactly mean?
Oh no, those are rooms in the dungeon.
No, but then what happened was I completed 2 rooms in that first sort of dungeon area, and then I went to the town, and then after I was in that town, I shut the game down, and then I pulled it up again. And that was back up to 3, even though I had to go back to the 3rd, level of that dungeon. I completed that dungeon, then it went down to 2. And I'm wondering if that is I
think that might be like an instance reset.
Oh,
yeah.
But
So
it restarts every single time you restart the game.
But it could just be that you didn't save it.
No, but I did save it. Everything was there.
It auto saves.
Yeah, it saves to a server.
Huh.
And that's what sort of confused me, because the whole idea of progressing faster with money, although I'm not necessarily fundamentally opposed to that, in certain regards it can completely ruin the gameplay experience, which I don't think that this game does. Because
I don't think it ruins.
I would say that the way that this game plays, and I wasn't playing on auto like Rev was. I was clicking around and doing everything. And other than some hiccups with the fact that it didn't click very well sometimes, like I thought I was doing something and it wasn't doing it. The combat in this game is revolutionary. And I maybe it's because I haven't played Monster Rancher or anything like that.
It's not necessarily. Well, it's not
revolutionary.
If you played Pokemon or Monster Hunter or whatever, like anything that operates off of the rock paper scissors.
Yeah.
And
but I'm talking about the real time speed of everything.
There are games like that too, but I get what you're saying. It's fun.
It implements it.
All of it combined is very fun.
The biggest disappointment that I had with this game is when I started it up, it was like create your character, and I was just like, wow. I mean, it doesn't give me a whole lot of character creation things,
access,
but it looks really good. Like, oh man, these 3D models, like this is gonna be an awesome.
Just to give some. Unless you want to do it, Rev, some information on like the people.
Yeah, go for it. It's Undead Labs. Yeah. They made it. It's on early access.
Undead Labs is the same people that made Dead State.
State of Decay.
State of Decay.
State of
right.
Decay.
2 different games. State of Decay, which actually that in itself is fun, but I think the scope of that game was a little high for them at that point. This seems like a better scope for them, and it plays a lot better than that one.
Yeah. I really want to go back to what was I? Oh, shoot, I wanted to go back to it, and you guys interrupted me. What was I talking about? You guys remember what I was talking about?
I don't know, being a douche.
Yeah, something like that. Oh, that's right. So you start this game up. Now this game is not only for PC, but you can also play it on tablet.
Soon.
They were going to do it mobile first, but they changed their mind.
And it's currently out on Mac and PC, which means you could probably get it running on Linux if you're smart enough through early access. And there's a limited release for iPhone and iPad. They are going to have full release dates for Android and iOS, but those have not yet been announced.
I am disappointed, yet also very excited that they did that. Because playing this game to its full potential with a mouse, I was a little bit, frustrated with some aspects of it, like not feeling like it recognized a lot of my clicks or like I thought I was doing something that I wasn't. On a tablet, I know this is going to be the best thing since sliced bread.
Also, you can fight with your actual trainer dude too. Trainer.
The trainers. Exactly. Has anybody actually knocked out an opposing trainer?
No, I haven't.
I haven't.
I didn't realize I could do it at first.
Yeah, okay. but the biggest thing that was like the biggest letdown for me was that the most interactivity that you get with this game is in the combat, because everything else is sliding around and you don't really have control of your character and you're clicking icons.
But it did start development as a tablet.
It did, and
there's still more to go. It's early access,
exactly, and that's the only thing, like in terms of like gameplay. Like if they had more resources and they didn't move it to a tablet, that would be the coolest thing. Like I wouldn't care if it was pay to win, which it's not.
It's not.
Well,
I would care.
Like if you
pay to gain advantage, for example, and this is just straight from their current early access. You can buy the game for $14.99 right now in early access on Steam. You can buy the Guildmasters edition for an extra $5. What that gives you, like the base one, cool. You've got the game. You're starting off the game. Cool. The Guildmasters edition gives you a 6 little monsters that are all 4-star, and I don't know what the ranking for that adds up to. You get 2 booster packs of the little monsters. You get 10,000 gold and 3,000 gems and some extra.
That's probably the closest pay to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, but it doesn't actually win you anything.
bringing up the whole like booster pack.
It's paid
concept
progress. That's all.
You look at a lot of the you look at a lot of the popular card games, like the virtual card games now, and Hearthstone is a very big popular one. And now that, as soon as you said that, like my paradigm sort of shifted on this game, because when I went into this game, I was looking at it like
it's easy to get angry. It's easy to get angry at it for having anything, because we're so used to Steam and indie games, especially.
But not even I went into it looking at it like an MMO, and I've played a lot of MMOs. I've played Guild Wars 2. I've played
World of Warcraft.
No, I have played World of Warcraft. I wasn't crazy about it. I've played Perfect World International and Vindictus and a lot of, I used to be really into MMOs, and I was expecting it to be sort of like open worldy, and you can find monsters in these areas.
No,
but
it has.
I think you have to. So basically, the message we're
quasi-linear story.
The message we're trying to give is that don't go into this with the wrong expectations.
Exactly, because now that you've sort of like put it into the like. Yeah, but consider the card games that these companies are pushing. Like, this is like far and away like so
it's
mechanically
ambitious.
Awesome.
It's ambitious.
I'm having fun with it, and
I am too.
Yeah,
that's the final word I think on any game is it fun? So
yeah, I think it's fun.
As soon as we're done with the show tonight, I plan on playing some more.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you. I don't know if I would put a lot more time into it.
It is fun.
Mechanically, I wouldn't personally buy anything. I can see.
I never buy anything from anything.
That's true. I don't either.
Unless it's like the game itself. Like I
can see a lot of competitive play options for this when they implement a lot more functionality. I genuinely had an amazingly fun time the first time I loaded it up and I learned the combat, and I was just like, this is fucking awesome.
Well,
like,
someone else is going to have a fun time tonight, because we're doing a giveaway for Moonrise.
Oh, we are doing.
So those of you in the chat, you guys are all eligible for this giveaway. Anyone lurking should sign in now. We're going to do a trivia question in our live chat, and then how we always do it, we'll give them time over our little break between segments, and then before we start free fun, we'll announce the winner. And the winner will get.
This week's trivia question is player.me still up?
Yeah. No.
Is it?
It's still down.
It's
down.
maybe they're doing a massive update.
Maybe this is like the first Friday they've had to deal with.
I don't know, maybe. Anyway, so the question is, what was the third indie game that was reviewed by Indie Gamer Chick as part of the charity challenge with Indie Game Riot? For those you don't know, we do a charity challenge with Indie Gamer Chick, who's a very popular indie game blogger. She does reviews and everything like that, and she reviews the game, buys the game, supports the devs, and we match the cost of the game in a charitable donation to the Epilepsy Foundation. So always go check out that. Right now, this next month's game is, you guys are getting a little sneak peek. It's up between Not a Hero and
Techno Babylon.
So far.
So far. Rev has not weighed in yet.
Yeah, Rev is the tiebreaker there.
If you guys have an opinion, you can always you can always comment. There will be for those of you who are commenting in the chat, there will be Hitbox has a and for those of you who are listening to the recorded version, who are thinking about possibly showing up Fridays, every Friday at 9:30 around there Eastern Standard Time.
I haven't given the options yet, by the way.
Yeah, no, they haven't given the options. Hitbox has their own sort of giveaway. Multiple choice question.
It's all randomized
in the chat, and then it randomizes the people who got it right, and it spits out a number. So, here
we go. I'm going to give you the options.
How it goes?
The options are Hector, Discourse, Shine, or Ori and the Blind Forest. I will start the giveaway now, and since we're giving away a game for free, we should move on to free fun.
And before we tell you about a game that you can play for free right now on the internet, we are giving away a game for free on our live show.
Yes,
on
sir.
The internet.
Yes.
For the question, we do a multiple choice trivia question for everyone in our live stream. We're giving away a copy of Moonrise, which we talked about in Peep Show. For those of you that just skipped ahead to free fun. The question was, what was the third indie game that was reviewed by Indie Gamer Chick as part of the charity challenge with Indie Game Riot, where we give money to Epilepsy Foundation and support the devs. The options are the answers. The options for the answer: Hector, Discourse, Shine, and Ori and the Blind Forest. The answer was Discourse, which no one got right.
Really?
No one got
Nobody
right.
got that right. To be fair,
Hector, what's funny is that the two people only voted for 2 out of the 4 games, and those 2 games that they voted for were neither of them have been choices at all.
How many people voted for Ori and the Blind Forest? Because
4.
I was one of those votes.
4 people.
I voted for Ori and the Blind
There
Forest.
you go.
So we're going to random.org? Is that
I already did it.
okay?
That's why I told Noble Nerd, who said he was going to go to sleep. I told him he's okay because he didn't win. I already knew.
Yeah.
So the winner is, wait, who wants to guess?
I kind of want Rome Run to win because he's never won anything
Well,
yet.
neither has Merlin.
Neither.
Oh,
is
Merlin's here. I really want Merlin to win. Rome, you know Rev. You're not.
Okay, well, I can tell you the person who is right, and too bad we can't give away a game for this question because Rome is right that the winner is T3 Wanderer.
Oh, all right.
So
T3 Wanderer, the username that popped in my head at a random time. And
congratulations,
made me
sir.
question my sanity.
There you are.
Yeah,
Consolation prize of a
I'll take a drink of
a
my,
slow clap.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, go ahead with
Now
free
going
fun.
for something that everybody at home or in the stream, hitbox.com/JaShinYa could play is My Garbage Cat Wakes Me Up at 3 a.m. every day. That's not a statement about the life that I live. That is just the name of this very simple yet pretty fun little free game that you can play in the link below or the link in the chat, which is one of those directions. Basically, you play as a cat, and it's 3 a.m., which means it's time to go. 3 a.m. is obviously the favored time of the cat because everyone's asleep, and it's the perfect time to cause mischief, like waking up your strangely less-haired, large, dumb cat roommate, which is how cats view the people who live with them in their house.
As we all know.
And knock over all of those strange appliances and things that your cat roommates seem to acquire on desks and chairs, as well as those light-producing things that they call lamps. So the goal of the game is to cause as much havoc as you possibly can as a cat and wake your owner up at 3 a.m. It's already 3 a.m., so you better run around, knock stuff over, knock that laptop off the desk, knock that clock and that plant, and make sure to knead the hell out of your owner's face until he wakes up because you're a cat.
You know what I'm a little disappointed in? I'm a little disappointed in this game. In this game is that you can't pucker your butthole right on your owner's face.
Yeah, sit down on owner. So in this game, you have a few options. You can walk around with the arrow keys. You can meow, I think, if I'm remembering that correctly, and then you can knead your paws because kneading paws on a cat is just what they do. And I'm trying to make this sound really fun because it's a very simple,
It is so
straightforward game.
You can beat the game by meowing repetitively.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In fact, it's actually faster than trying to knock everything down.
I will say that the physics in this game are very fun to fight against.
I'm just watching it now, and the lamp just went like 3 somersaults in the air just because the cat like rubbed its tail
Rubbed
on
up
it.
against it.
Yeah, exactly. And to be fair, that is sort of what happens when cats get a hold of things.
Strangely, that is also what happens when babies grab things.
Yeah, and to just let you know, warning to those who have headphones. This is a really loud game.
Well, turn down your damn headphones.
No, yeah, you really should. But really, it's just mindless fun as a cat. If you ever wanted to be a cat, this is probably. Screw Goat Simulator, Cat Simulator.
There's an indie game that's out. There was already a free version of it out, I think, but it's now out on Steam called
Catastrophe.
And someone else, I think, last chat was talking about it. I forget who it was.
Yep. Or cat lateral damage.
Cat lateral. There it is. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Cat
lateral damage.
It reminds me a lot of that, except cheaper because it's free.
Yeah, a lot cheaper, a lot simpler. This came out, or rather, it was last updated on the 17th of May, 2015. I don't know if this came out before cat lateral damage, but if you don't want to play cat lateral damage, and you just want to boot up something in your browser, My Garbage Cat wakes me up at 3 a.m. every day.
Fantastic.
It's something you can play for fun, play for free.
Free fun.
And have fun. Free fun. IndieGameRiot.com.
All right. Well,
but you know what is also free, but not nearly
Rev
as
was
fun?
going to say something. Shut up.
Oh, Rev, sorry. Go
I was
ahead.
going to say something that's apparently free but totally not fun. Player.me, because it's still down.
Player.me is still down. So,
well, speaking of Player.me, because I'm going to take your transition now, there's ways to contact us. But first, let me tell you, or let me remind you that we have a Patreon. So if you like what we're doing...
This is the end of the show, by the way.
This is the end of the show. All good things must come to an end, as I always say. If you like what we're doing, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/Indie Game Riot. It is a huge help. Anything at all that you can support us with, $1 or more, really, really helps. There's all kinds of rewards, and it'll help us get to our goals, which you'll see listed there.
If you want to see more new content, by the way.
New content and fancier stuff, and us helping the Indie Game community even more.
Like, once we get to certain goals, you are going to be seeing some awesome new content coming from this, because we know that you guys love this podcast, and we know you guys love this website. We see you coming back every single week and enjoying indie games and playing those awesome indie games for yourselves. And if you want to see more awesome content, because some people aren't really into the podcast scene.
One of the awards, by the way, when we did that giveaway, one of the awards is that we guarantee that there will be a giveaway of our starting the Riot game. I think, what is it, $100? I think it's $100 a month.
$100 a month.
Once we get to $100 a month on Patreon, which is really not that far away, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. If 75 of you donate $1 a month, and $1 a month, come on, like think about Starbucks. What, you guys go to Starbucks like 3-4 times a week? That's like $4, every other day. $1 a month. Come on,
but anyway,
guys.
Really helps us out. So thank you so much
definitely
for considering it. Patreon.com/Indie Game Riot. But back to getting in contact. We mentioned Player.me earlier in the show. We are on there now. Search Indie Game Riot. Follow us, join the group. If the site ever comes back up.
Awesome conversations with us. Like it's probably the easiest way to have a true, awesome, open conversation with Indie Game Riot.
Yeah, really. And for those of you who are watching the recorded version, we do a live show every Friday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
You're missing out.
You're missing out because a lot of really interesting chatting going on in between segments. You won't get the fanciness of the bumpers and all that sort of stuff, but it's still a fun time. You get to chat with all the Indie Game Riot family. I like to call you guys a family because we love you guys. If it's not for you, Indie Game Riot would not be a thing.
Honestly, I don't think family works.
What is
they
that?
should be our rioters.
Rioters, yeah. All right.
Rioters. And for those of you who are watching live, we, of course, have recorded versions on IndieGameRiot.com that you can always catch up on if you missed an episode. Twitter.com/IGR Podcast or Facebook.com/IGR Podcast. And
have you mentioned the Reddit?
Shut up. And our email address, if you just want to contact us through email, is contact@IndieGameRiot.com, which is the website, IndieGameRiot.com. There you go.
And the Reddit.
Or Reddit all over your face. There you go.
Which is still down.
Any last words, gentlemen?
Just make sure that you are going to get a treat if you come to Too Many Games, because Rev's gonna
if you come up and say hi to us, you get to pluck one of Tech's beard hairs
and possibly get a sticker.
There you go. Oh yeah, stickers.
Put on whatever
stickers,
whatever nefarious things like a stop sign or a business or something. We do not condone graffiti of any type here on Indie Game Riot. But yeah, no, I'm. That's honestly. It's work, get money for too many games at this point in my brain. So yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's gonna be a whole lot of fun.
Player.me is still down.
Panel going on.
Yeah, we also have a panel. Didn't even talk about the panel. Talk about a panel. We have a panel.
Player.me is still down.
Too many games. So, anyways,
Player.me is still down. Say goodbye, gentlemen.
Yeah. See you next time, guys.
Have a good one, folks.
Toodles.